Welcome. Take a moment. Center ourselves. Take a moment to be here. Just acknowledge that we're together as we've always been, but now we're consciously going to be together, experiencing these moments. It's always beautiful to see everyone who comes. It's beautiful to see everyone who doesn't come, because we're all here whether we know it or not. Moment of gratitude. Thank you. Just to be here. Today we're going to talk about our mission, your mission, my mission, the mission. There's only one mission, and we all share it. Have you noticed how there's a yearning, there's a feeling inside that says there has to be more than just this life of running around and being busy and these little goals? The difference between what we're talking about as the mission, our mission, your mission, and these little goals that we have moment by moment. The mission we're talking about is why we're here on earth, the big purpose, these little purposes we have, and they're all very important. Not all very important, but eating, taking the kids to school, getting to work, getting dressed, brushing our teeth. These little purposes are very important. And a lot of our little purposes are very distracting and unimportant. But we're talking about our mission meaning our big purpose. Why are we here? Now you know that maybe you feel it in your body, and certainly the thoughts cross your mind, how there's more to life, there's more than just these little purposes. Getting up, brushing your teeth, taking care of the dishes, getting ready for work, going to work, cleaning, cooking, all these things, very important. There's more to it than that, and you can feel it. It's a yearning. It's like something's calling you, and you don't know what it is. Like there's a feeling and a need. And the problem is we don't know what that is. If we know what it is, then we're good, because we're going to, once we have an idea of what our mission is, then we're at least able to know what the path needs to be, or that we're on the path or not on the path, put it that way. But this yearning, this feeling, this is part of what it means to be human. This is central to what it means to be human, is this drive, this desire, this feeling, this yearning for something much, much bigger than this little life, which is very important that we're living. This yearning that we feel is our mission calling us. And once we're actually honoring that mission and living into that mission, then we don't feel that yearning so much. We feel the drive, but it's not like an unknown calling for what we don't know. So today we're going to identify what this mission is. We're going to find out how to contact the path to our mission. Now there's these little projects and these little goals and these little purposes that we have all day, every day. And they have to do with survival and procreation. So survival, food. How much of our lives are involved in the project of food? A lot. Good, we need food. Food's a beautiful thing. It's a tool or a weapon, right? I mean, depending on how we use it. All of these things, we're going to get into this. Food, clothing, shelter from the storms, from the elements, protection. Then we have the less tangible things. Security. Security, a place where we know we're safe. Free time. We're human beings. We're not, even the animals shouldn't be treated that way. We need free time. And we need company because we're social beings. So these are the projects and the goals that we have on the small, everyday level to keep us going, the survival level. Then there's procreation, the sex drive. Now, what happens is we've been conditioned to believe that our big purpose is an expansion of these little purposes, which means what I'm really here for is to get more stuff, to get more sex, to get more attention, to get more safety, security. So where I'm looking for where the drive for me to have a mission, a real purpose in life, a grand reason to be here, that drive, that need is channeled and distorted by a very materialistic thinking society, not a feeling society. The feelings are all also distorted. So I think that my purpose here is food, more food. Like my whole food instinct is sick. It's not nourishment and enjoyment and sharing and honoring where it comes from and the people and the animals who do the work and all of the beauty that goes into it and the gratitude and the experience. That's just part of it. We get into the gluttony, the fast food, the sugar, the addictive substances, the clothing. Okay, it's nice. We want to look nice. That's okay. And this also goes into company and attention. All these things. We're perverted to believe that we need adulation. We need all these people around us to think we're magnificent. Share, like. We're all stars in our little worlds. Because we're looking for a grand purpose through these little purposes that are just survival purposes. Sex, procreation, the desire to have union and sacred communion is absolutely perverted. It's perverted into a pleasure principle, into an ego principle. The need for company and security, for example, the desire for fame and more attention is a perversion, an extension of these little desires, these little goals, these little purposes into a grand purpose. The desire to control. What is this greed and this desire to control and dominate the earth and other people and have this massive amount of power? All of this is a perversion of the survival instinct. Once you have enough food, clothing, shelter, security, free time, and company, once you have sufficient of these things, then why? When we start to make these into grander goals, into life purposes, they become perverted, and we can just see how that works. Because when we have people who have attained success on this level, they have tremendous amounts of power and money and fame and sex and all of these things that we all seem to be driving for as our main purpose. These people are a mess. They're a mess. Why? Because that will not fill what it is that the craving is looking for. The craving is not looking for an extension of survival principles, of the thought processes. It's looking for an extension of the being process. Okay, so what is the mission? If it's not an extension of all these little survival things, the mission is to be light. The mission is to be light. The mission is to be light. All that other stuff was making me tense. See, all that excited talk, and now light, and everything's just opened up. You see? Just the association with light changes the whole vibration. It changes the whole energy of the conversation, of the interaction, of the being. Light. What is light? Light is simply the word that's being used to express the state of love, the state of compassion, the state of beauty, the state of truth, kindness, service, creation, creativity. The state of these things. Light, the nature of light is to shine, which is why we use light. And light is actually the only thing that I personally have experienced when crossing over into a place where there is no longer the material world. The only thing that I've seen that translates, that is the same, is light. There is light. Everything else is there's just an abandonment of self. I'm talking about heaven. And we've all probably been there to some extent. But to be in heaven, the experience that I've had is to be without being. There is being, but there is no personal being. But there's light. Light shines, it's omnipresent, it's everywhere. This is the default principle. This is the creative principle. This is love. Light. To be light means to shine. To shine means to illuminate that which is dark. The stronger and the more connected I am, the I that's listening, I am. The stronger that light is, the greater is the brilliance, the stronger the shining, the stronger is the light that's illuminating the darkness. And we live in a dark world. There's light, but there's a lot of darkness. And when we're preoccupied and obsessed with these little obsession goals, these little survival goals, and extending them into fame and into lust and into gluttony and into greed and into all of these dysfunctional ego aggrandizement, ego expansions. When we're lost in that, that is the darkness. That's the small self that's suffering, because that's not a connected self. The light is the connection. So to be light means to bring light. To bring light means to illuminate those who are open to it, to share light with those who have light. It means to increase the love, rise the water of love, so that all the vibration of the earth, the vibration of all beings is elevated. That is my mission. I am listening to these words. I don't know where they're coming from. They're words, but they're expressing and encapsulating. They're transmitting something. And what it is that they're telling me is that my mission is to be grand and beautiful and to be light. Oh, God. And in being light is joy and is beauty. It's what my soul craves. I am speaking from the ears that are listening. I am. And the cat is also. Cat. I am the cat. I am listening. I am speaking. I just am. And this light, this extension of being, is my mission. Is to now here's the thing, is our conditioning and our default, our new default, not the original default, but now our default consciousness is very much in darkness. We're seeking that which brings us, which extends that which is survival mechanism, survival needs, to such great extents that we're lost, we lose the light. Because if I'm obsessed with wanting more money and I have enough money, that is darkness. If I'm obsessed with wanting more sex and I have companionship and a connection, then that means I don't understand what companionship and connection means. If I'm obsessed with having more power, then that means I don't understand what power is. Power is not power over, power to control. Power is simply the ability to be and bring light. Because that's what will bring me joy. That's what will extend the joy and the peace and the beauty. And that will increase this in the world where I live, where I am, where we am. I am, we are, I are. So, to be clear that my mission is to be and bring light is really a reversal, or it's a completely different way of thinking about things from the everyday and the condition. What everyone around us and what we've been conditioned to be is not this being that's seeking light. It's a being that's seeking darkness, thinking that that pleasure and comfort are going to bring us pleasure and comfort, pleasure and comfort, pleasure and comfort. You're just running away from pain and fear, pain and fear. They're just flip it over. Pleasure, comfort, pain, fear, pleasure, comfort, pain, fear. You notice the cycles. Pleasure, comfort, pain, fear. They always go like this. They come and they go. They come and they go, up and down. Why is that? Because it's a dualistic thing, because we're not looking for what we crave in the right place. Yes, I'm looking for pleasure and comfort. The drive that's taking me to those things is, on some level, the desire for light, the grand mission, but it's perverted into these little thinking things rather than being things. The world has taught us that our mission is to do, accomplish, attain, acquire, get stuff, do stuff. This is not the mission. Our mission is to be. To be right once I am right, everything that I do that flows from me will be right. Doing right, I can do right for the wrong reasons, and sometimes doing right will help us arrive at a being, but there's no way to avoid the need for being. And being is the opposite. It's not the opposite, but it's an absence, first and foremost. Being into the light, being into the mission, being into what it is that we crave in the depths of our soul. That being is a very still, non-doing place. From that still, non-doing place will flow unbelievable creativity, unbelievable openness, joy, strength, stability, maturity, responsibility, compassion, and kindness. These are the natural flow of a being that is light, of a being that is. Now, we're conditioned to do. I will find that's why we're never home, why we're never okay. Because what is there after I do this that still needs to be done? There's no limit to the doings. There's only more doings. Being, when we get to and we're going to do this later, in a very short time, we're going to do an exercise in being. An exercise in being light, and then we're going to have the experience of watching that light expand, and we're going to put the world, can you feel that? I know you can. We're going to put the world, the whole earth, past, present, and future, the atmosphere, all the creatures in the thin layer of life on top of the earth herself, all the water, the fire at the center of the earth. We're going to put all this in the light that we become, and we're going to see what our mission really is. We're going to taste it. Part of this internal craving to be the light, to join, and we can say join with and be God, or we can say join with and be God, be cosmic consciousness, join with and be nature, join with and be our higher nature. These are all just different words, and people will get offended if I say God, and then other people will get offended if I don't say God. It doesn't matter. Let's not be stuck in this. Let's just be with the essence of what it is that's happening, so that we can break down the barriers that divide us into yes God, no God, yes nature, no nature, yes this, yes that. All things that happen with a thinking mind. That's why the pleasure, comfort, pain, fear. That's the duality. What we're talking about is a state of non-duality, a being that doesn't have an opposite. And we're going to experience it. And you've experienced it before, and if you've experienced it consciously, God bless. Nature bless. World bless. Nature. If we haven't experienced it consciously, we will, and that will be a new beginning, or it will be a deepening. But the thinking mind is trying to, it's a wonderful tool for the survival things that we just went through: food, clothing, shelter, free time, security, and company. It's wonderful for those things. It's not a wonderful thing for the life, for the grand mission. For the grand mission, it needs to get in line and just do what it's told once the being has been realized. Because the doing is always, it's part of this craving, this doing, this looking for a mission in the little things, is what we want everything. This is human nature, to want everything. It is not a bad thing. It is just our natures to want everything. We cannot have everything. Plants. We can't have it. That's why the thinking, doing, seeking, acquiring mind needs to be limited and tamed. This busy, crazy mind that won't let us be still. Stillness is where we will find our mission. We will become who we need to be, and the mission will flow naturally. I can't tell you, or you what this mission is. The stillness will tell us what the mission is. The stillness is the higher connected self that we will experience, we have experienced consciously or not, and we will experience consciously soon. This higher self, this connected self, will give us our doings. The mind will not. The mind will give us busyness, but it will not give us the everything, the beauty, the connected life mission that will bring us peaceful, stable satisfaction, beautiful relationships, authenticity, relationships with self, because there's no conflicted self anymore, and with others. This drive to be light, to have everything, we cannot have everything on the thinking, material, survival level. You control the whole world, all the resources and all the people. You still don't have Saturn. Ooh, you got Saturn. You still don't have Sirius 1, 45 light years that way, or 5,000 light years that way, or however far it is. You have that. What about the next galaxy? And the next? You can't have it all. But you want it all. You're supposed to have it all. Not by having it all, but by being. You'll see, if you haven't felt it before consciously, we're going to go there, to the place where this little craving self disappears and merges into a larger, all-encompassing light self, and that light self is everything. And when you are everything, you don't need to have anything, because you are everything. Why would I need to have my hand? I am my hand. If my hand includes everything that ever has been, that is, and that ever will be, then what am I looking for? There's nothing left to look for. Okay. This craving mind also, this little goal, this little purpose, this perverted survival mind. If we don't have what we need for survival, then we need it. Then it's important to find the things that we need for survival. The 6 things I just said, 3 times already. But once we have those, which most of us do a lot of our lives, most of us that are here now do a lot of our lives. Many other on this earth, through time and now and in the future, don't. And that needs to be addressed. That's not a joke. That's serious. Now, however, those of us who do have had, and will have, the craving little mind, the perverted survival mind. See how it goes to the perverted sex, the extreme violence, the extreme sports, the need to be distracted. There's never a moment. Put your phone down. Turn the TV off. Turn the radio. Get the earbuds out of your ear. That little craving mind, it's just struggling to avoid the truth, which is that it is not all that important. That's the thing. It's an ego. And the ego is, it's that in terms of size, it's that in terms of time. Blink and we're gone. Blink, our kids are gone. Blink, their kids are gone. No one knows we existed. Blink, step out to the city. I'm not even a speck of dust. If you're in a plane, you can't see me from an airplane. You can't even see cars. You can't see, maybe you can see big trucks. You can't see me from the moon. There is no people from you. You can see a glow from our collective lights. We are so small on the ego level. And the ego is terrified of that smallness. That's where the fear of death and the fear of loneliness come from. It comes from the tininess of that little doing being. And that little doing being, to be still means to be here and to be now. It's not a doing space. Doing might come out of it. And doing will come out of it. And we need to be busy. Survival stuff takes time. Absolutely. But we'll see as we practice this, what we're doing here is we're creating tools and habits and practices and reframing our lives in a way that slowly, and through practice and discipline, and also through processing a lot of the traumas and this ego that's convinced us that we are doing beings that need to dominate, to get those little things, to go through that, to lose that, that will cause pain before it gives up control. It will not just say, oh, good, he's finding enlightenment. Let me just, no, it will not do that. It will take time. But what we're doing is we're learning to contact and to become this mission, this light, to be everything. And that will seep into and permeate and eventually will become more and more part of who we are, even in the busy doing. And we'll find that things don't irritate us. Things don't bother us. We have patience. We have love. We don't have enemies. We don't have anybody to fight. Nobody to blame. There's only responsibility, beauty, increasing power. Power meaning the ability to bring and share light. Not power meaning the ability to control others and circumstances. That doesn't happen anyway. That's all fake. People and circumstances. It doesn't matter if you're Rome. It doesn't matter if you're the Third Reich. It doesn't matter if you're the president of any country. It doesn't matter who, what, where you are. You will not control circumstances. You will not control the people. It is impossible. It can be done for short periods of time with groups of people. It will not maintain. That is not, and that's where the big part of where the fear is. Even if I am the emperor of Rome, I have a fear that someone's going to stick a knife in my back because he wants to be emperor of Rome. Oh, my empire is shrinking. My empire is bigger. It's not as big. It is all fear-based. It's an extension of a survival need to be secure, for company, to have enough. Okay, so this little self takes us out of the present, takes us out of stillness. It needs things from the past. It's traumatized by the past. It needs things in the future. It's traumatized by stuff in the past. It gets something that has pleasure and comfort. It's not enough. It loses its luster, pain and suffering. And okay, not a nice way to live. Very unstable, very out of control. So how is it, what is it that the light, the mission, my mission is, let me hear my voice inside of my head. I'm now listening to something. Something is coming through. I'm going to close my eyes. Now I hear a voice coming in through my ears. And this is my voice. My name is, and this is my voice. And my voice is telling me that my mission is. My mission is. And after I say to myself, my mission is, there's nothing more to say. That silence is inviting the answer. So let's say it together. 1, 2, 3. My mission is. Okay. Now, that's the beginning. The beginning is to create space. Let's let go of some of the tensions here that we have, some of the everyday things that we brought, that we just live with, that we think are normal. And when they release, we'll realize they're not. They're normal in the sense that we have them all the time, but they needn't be what we are, what we're carrying. So first we have the box, our beautiful box that we put at our feet, and it's an open box, and the box says later. Someone wrote, I wrote, later on the back, on the outside of the box. And anytime a thought or a feeling comes to me in the next 10 minutes of this meditation that we're doing, I'm going to take that thought and feeling, ever so gently with respect. I'm going to put it in the box called later, which means I honor you thought, I honor you feeling. I'm not pushing you away. I'm not denying you. I'm not fighting with you. I'm simply putting you here for later. And I'm going to come back to the space. Now we're going to breathe in and out 3 times, in through our nostrils slowly, out through our mouth more slowly, from the bottom of our stomach, bottom of our diaphragm, filling our whole body gently with air to the top, exhaling in reverse out the mouth. Each exhale is a relaxing and a releasing of tension, thinking, and feeling. Ready? Breath 1, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Releasing. Releasing. Better. 2, in. Out. Releasing. Everything. Tension. Thoughts. Third breath, in through the nose. Out through the mouth, releasing the last of tension, the last of the past. There's no past. The past is gone. There's only this moment. And now I can feel a spaciousness. I feel a spaciousness because I've just released and relaxed. My mission is the space for now. If you want to open your arms, you can to open your chest. If you don't, you don't have to. There's a light in the center of your chest. In the center of my chest, I am speaking for myself. I am who I am. There's a light in the center of my chest. There's a light just below my rib cage, above my belly button. There's another light. 2 big lights. There's a big light under my belly button. There's a big light in my crotch. There's a big light in my throat. There's a big light in my forehead. There's a big light in the crown of my head. There's a big light underneath where I'm sitting, like a sun, like I'm sitting on the sun. And above me is another sun. And now all these lights, the light from the top is just falling through my body, merging with the crown, merging with my forehead, the light, merging with the light in my throat, merging with the light in my chest, my solar plexus, under my belly button, my crotch, down to the huge light below, and now it's just merged into one big light. There's one big light. And I can feel my body glowing within that light, and I can either let the skin just dissolve into that light, or I can let the light increase inside my body until it just dissolves into that overall light. There is one light that is now the size of the room that I'm in. It's expanding. It's expanding. Now let's focus on the center of this light being egg around my body. The light is everywhere. The light is omnipresent. The light just extends and extends and extends. There's nothing that is not part of this light. Above us, left, right, center, forward, back, below, everywhere, there is only one space, and it is light. There is only one time, and it is the experience and this space of light. Now, within this light, I have my hands about a foot from each other, and they're open and they're faced each other in front of my body. We need to just be in this light. Just be in the light. I am. Light. Now take your hands and put them about a foot from each other. You don't need to open your eyes, just feel them. You'll feel them as they come close to about a foot. You'll start to feel a pressure between your hands, or you'll feel a warmth or a tingling. You're going to feel that in your hands. Now remember, there's only light and there's only your hands. and your hands are brilliant with an even brighter light. In the light, there's this brilliant light that is your hands. And between the light, between your hands, is this unbelievable brilliance. And we take the earth, the whole earth, the atmosphere of the earth, the air, the thin layer of life and water that covers the earth, and ice, the layers and layers and layers of rocks, to the molten core of fire. We have the air, the water, the earth, and the fire. We have all of the elements of the earth. We have all of the life forms, all of the seemingly infinite life forms and expressions. There is no time. There is only life forms, earth, air, water, and fire. Between our hands, we hold this treasure, and we fill this treasure. Feel the light in your chest, extending through your arms, in your hands, and between your hands is the earth, and the earth is filled with the light. This light is your life. It is love. It is your connection. It is me. It is the beauty of being. It is nourishing, healing. Heal every part of that earth. Heal it. Heal it with your being, with your light. Heal it. Clean the air, the water, the earth, and the fire. Balance it. Every being is free of suffering and filled with the light that you bring. Everything has enough. Everything is in balance. There is no competition. There is no need for anything but the being of this shared light that you are bringing and saturating the earth with. Let it flow. Right now, you who am I who am you. I will use the word I. I don't need to say you, I, because I am I. You hear I. This is your heart speaking. This is my heart speaking. The heart is speaking. The heart of light is speaking to I. It is telling me that I am healing the world. What else can there be? Do I want to move my arms out a little? Why don't I heal the universe? Who knows what healing the universe needs? Heal it. Nurture it. Love it. Oh, thank you. Gratitude is what shows us that we've arrived at something beautiful. We actually know that it's real. Gratitude, the feeling of gratitude, you can't manufacture it. If one feels gratitude, it's because I know this is of value. Oh, thank you. I feel gratitude. I feel the nourishing of this whole thing. Back to just the earth, the healing of the earth. Now we let the earth be, floating, spinning in space around the sun, spinning in space around the central black hole, spinning in space around the other galaxies, the great sun, spinning around God knows what, who knows where. Back to the space around us, back to the skin in which we live. The light fills the skin in which we live. The light is the life that makes this pile of earth, air, water, and fire alive. Otherwise, it's just inanimate. It's a corpse. Feel that light in the body, bound by the skin now. Now we're embodied. We don't extend past the skin. Of course we do. We just experienced it. But now we come back because we are embodied. We are individual bodies. Come to my individual body. Be in my body. Bound by the top of my head, the bottom of my feet. My skin binds my body. And the aura, the feeling around it, it goes, but let's just connect to the earth. Feel where you're sitting. where your feet are touching the ground, whatever's touching, the lowest thing that's touching, whatever it is that's pulling the center of your body to the center of the earth. That's what gravity is. That's what love is. It pulls the center of each thing to the center of each other thing until there is only one thing. But now the body is what I am. I embrace my embodied being. I am the body. I am here to fulfill my mission. And in the body is how I am going to do that on earth. I am in the body, fully in the body, fully connected to the earth. Feel the roots from the bottom of my being into the earth if necessary. Sometimes it helps to just pat your body gently. Come back to be here. Okay. I've opened my eyes. Embodied in the body. That's my mission. My mission, when we contacted that, when we merged and became the greater light, how'd it feel? Was there any conflict? Did we need to pretend anything? Did we have to project anything, make anybody happy? Was it a doing? Did we have to do something? Was it later? Was it yesterday? Was there trauma from the past? Was there something we needed to do or that's undone into the future? Do we have to get more stuff, more sex, more money, more power, more attention? Did we need any of that stuff? Not at all. We were whole. We were home. We were in the mission. We were in the state of light. We were here and now. We are here and now. But that was an intense experience, direct experience of what it means. Now, that is what we did was nothing. What we did was nothing, you see. According to the world, we just sat here and allowed ourselves to be guided. And you can feel it. See how close it is right now? If you close your eyes for a second, you can contact that. You see? Contact that. It's always there. It's just, we find it in stillness. And stillness is, according to what the world is looking at, it's doing nothing. It's the power of passivity, of stillness, of a quiet mind, of an empty space, of not doing, of simply being. And the more we are in that, the more we allow that to permeate and to be who and what we are, the more we'll find that doing the right thing, doing the beautiful thing, doing the creative thing, doing the loving thing will flow automatically. Because that is a state of love, creativity, beauty, compassion, kindness, service. It flows automatically from a being in that state. Now, to be still, we weren't in a doing state, but from that will flow doing, because we are human beings, and human beings do. That's our nature. We will do out of who we are. We will not do contrary to who we are. That's why it's very difficult to do good, have good intentions, when the being is not where it needs to be, with light, with the mission. So here we are, adults. Adult meaning with the responsibility and the power to do the work and become what our mission calls for us to become, to be. Why? First, we want to be happy. I mean really happy, not pleasure, comfort, pain, fear. I mean happy. And what happens is it raises the level of, as we contact this and become more in tune with, disciplined, and connected to this state of being, to our mission, the higher our vibration becomes, then we are more and more joyful. Circumstances will always do this. Do you want to be at the mercy of circumstances? That's why we have a house. We don't want to be at an apartment, clothing, food in the refrigerator, because we don't want to be at the mercy of It snows, I'm cold. It rains, I'm wet. I want to be above the weather. I want to be warm when it's cold out. Yeah, sure I do. So do you. I want to be above circumstances. Oh, it's wonderful. Okay. Oh, it's terrible. Okay. If my vibration is here and circumstances are down here doing this, does the eagle care if the chicken is happy or not? It flies here. The chicken jumps on here on the ground. Nothing wrong with the chicken. Maybe it's not fair to the chicken. But what I'm saying is when the vibration is high, the circumstances don't matter as much. Of course, we still feel sadness when something happens. We feel joy, excited when something really fun or cool happens. But it doesn't control who we are, or how we behave. It doesn't control who we are, our being. Our being controls our being. If our level's here. So what we're doing is, as responsible adults, we have both the ability and the responsibility. First, because we want to be joyful above circumstances with true joy, in a state of love and beauty and creativity. We want to be in that state. Secondly, we want to share that state, because that's the nature of it. Anything that's of value, okay, on the survival level, we need to have enough and share enough so that we all have enough to survive and to be comfortable on the survival level. But the truly valuable things are not survival things. They're love, compassion, creativity. These things, if I am in a state of love and radiating love, I am so nourished. It's just expanding my own. I'm not going to go out and look for love. That's insane. You can't find love. Love is. I am love. And the more I know that, the more I'm in a state of love, radiating this beauty that is love, the more I'm going to see it reflected back at me. But that's not why I do it, to get it. I do it because I need to be love. And when I am love, I am nourishing all around me with love. And that's the mission. That's why first we created the space of light and being. And then we put the earth there and put the universe there, because that is the nature of the state of high vibration. It needs to extend that high vibration into every corner of anybody and anything who will allow us. Now, human beings have the right to say, no, I don't want that. And it's not our place. That's when it's a dark magic if we push love into a place that says no. If she says no, he says no, then the answer is no. That person has their right to refuse. But any place that accepts, and everybody, believe me, wants and is craving, very few people will say no when the vibration is truly love. They just almost never will. I mean, almost never. So as adults, to come back to what it is that we always need to be left with, which is that this that we're doing here can be two things. It can either be a shot of heroin, meaning it's something that makes me feel good, and then I go home and then I turn the thing off and I feel down. And that's not then don't bother. You have a drink, watch TV. Or this is a brick in the path. It's a ray of sun in the crystal. It's something that we are bringing into our beings so that we can. You don't need me. This thing here, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need these words. You need nothing. It's just you. Your heart is telling you what is coming out of this mouth. What we're doing is we're sharing this so that we can leave this space and then meditate. Spend time in stillness every day. Cultivate this space of being from which the mission naturally, the doing part of the mission naturally flows. The being, what we have control over, is the being part of the mission. I can be, let's take Buddha, Jesus, anybody that's realized. A realized being does not have control over all the circumstances. They can still do horrible things to me. Or in spite of all of the good works that may come from my being. I'm not saying that I'm realized, I'm saying this is in a state of love, of mission. Radiating love doesn't mean that a whole section over there isn't going to pervert it or ignore it or try to hurt me or whatever it is. It doesn't mean that. What it means is that I'm doing the best I can, right? And what else can I do? I can only control the being part of the mission. What I do will flow naturally from that. What results are out of my hands. But this is in my hands. You can feel that. And that's the mission. To be and share that. Every morning when you wake up, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, but at least 30 seconds, before you do anything. If there's someone in bed next to you and you don't want them to know, then you just pretend you're still sleeping. But if you can, you sit up. If you can't, don't. 30 seconds to contact the stillness. Before you do anything else, do nothing. Before you go to bed, after you've done all your doings, brushing your teeth, if you pray, whatever it is you do, kissed your dog, kissed your boyfriend, kissed your husband, kissed your wife, whatever it is you've done, the last thing you've done, then do nothing for 30 seconds. This is contacting the stillness, cultivating the being. I can't do it for you and you can't do it for me. What are the signs of avoiding the mission? The ego. The ego will try to keep us busy doing. It will not let us be still. It will not let our minds be quiet. It will keep us busy doing, thinking about things from the past, thinking about things in the future, restless, always on the phone, always on the TV, always on the something, always on the That is the sabotage of the doing mind. This is not your boss. Don't believe your mind. It's not your boss. You are the boss. You say, oh, my mind's so busy. Who's saying that? The boss is saying that. Don't let the busy mind tell you that you're too busy to stop. No. My mind is so busy. Whose mind? My mind. I do not belong to the mind. I'm talking about the thinking mind. Because we can use mind also to mean the mind of God, the mind of the universe, the higher self. But the thinking mind, this is my thinking mind. I do not belong to the thinking mind. So still the thinking mind. It is practice like anything else. The first time you do a push-up is, oh my God, I can't do 5 of them. Do 5 a day, 3 a day, 1 a day. After 5 weeks, you're doing 10, 20. That's the way it works. Take the time. Be responsible for your own, for cleaning. We'll get into this more. We've done this in the past also. Cleaning away that which is blocking your mission, which is the thinking mind and the feeling. The thoughts and feelings are what are, and the busy doings. We all have 30 seconds first thing in the morning, 30 seconds last thing at night, and that will increase with time when you feel the benefits. And as it becomes easier. And we will learn more and more about this in time. Take the responsibility. Be independent. Be independent. This is all about learning to be gloriously independent. You need no one and nothing. And then you'll have everyone and everything. Of course, we need each other on the survival level. And we are each other on the mission level. That's why when I was speaking, I just lost it many, many times, and I heard my voice coming out of your mouth because you were giving me the thoughts from your heart. And it all just becomes this on the mission level, on the love level, on the connected level. So let's take our independence as individuated beings. And in that full independence, we realize that we're completely expansive and no longer bound by this little self, which we just experienced. Thank you. See you on Sunday at 9 o'clock. Love.